checking it out here on this late Thursday night. Appreciate y'all staying up. We try to do some questions in here, try to do some comments, try to do some segments every now and again. Let's see. Let me try to scroll back up to the top because I know that people be in here on time and I'd be overlooking it. So let me just take a look here. Matter of fact, there we go. That's better. They always trying to tell me to make eye contact with the lens. I'm like, they can hear me. They can see me. It's them I can't see. What we got? We got Colorado passing game instead of run was very questionable. I mean, it's almost like they can't run the ball. Like that was the thing. It's like it's not just, they didn't even give themselves the opportunity to run the ball. And when it became time to run the ball, everybody knew he was running the ball. So Dallin Hayden can't do nothing with that. And that's also telling to me. Dallin Hayden was the second best tailback at Ohio State last year. Full stop. I know that some people are going to argue with me about Mayan Williams. I would not. Okay? It's just not going to happen. So it ain't Dallin Hayden that got a problem at Colorado. It's Colorado's offensive line. They got a problem blocking for Dallin Hayden because that first TD that Shedeur threw where it looked kind of wobbly, if Dallin Hayden don't come up and absolutely destroy that linebacker, Shedeur Sanders is getting destroyed. All right? You got to find a way to get that man more involved in what you're doing because he is an outstanding tailback. And if you can't get him an opportunity to run between tackles, you got a problem, not him having a problem. Let's see what else got in here. NDSU was cheated the win with the loss and time at the end. I don't think so, dog. I don't think so. My man didn't get his head around on the pass interference. He gets his head around to get the ball back to get an opportunity to go down and score. I'm not here for all that business, right? I understand there's some questionable calls by the referees tonight. I do, right? The Shiloh Sanders hit was late. I would have thrown a flag on that. There was some offsides that wasn't called. Like, it was going all sorts of ways on this one. I think this crew would like to take this film and go use it the way that North Dakota State's going to go use it. They had some wins. They had some losses. But at the end of the day, they couldn't stop 12. They couldn't stop 2. That's the end of the game. That's it. NDSU didn't get cheated out of nothing. They got the full dose of Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter. I'm here to tell you. They got the full dose. They got the meal. You know what I'm saying? Got the dessert too. What else you want, dog? Because I'm not here for that. I'm not here for that. When you give up 198 yards receiving to a dude that ain't Travis Hunter, and then you get cooked for 440 by Shedeur, and then you get cooked for 132 by a dude that's playing both ways, don't talk to me about getting cheated. That's on you. Let me see what else got in here. Let me see. Why are you acting like NDSU is a slouch team, though? They have been winning the national championship regular, and you late. Where have you been, sir? We did this segment earlier. You showed up late. That's what happened. Let's see what else got in here. G5, the FCS tougher, ACC laugh. Oh yeah. Well, look. I got to check it, but we might need to be doing a money in the bag right fast on Western Carolina at North Carolina State because NC State looked like they was getting cooked, couldn't tackle, getting cooked. Okay. Meanwhile, Arkansas setting records. Not only they scored 70 against Little Rock, poor Little Rock. My goodness, man. Arkansas scored a TD on its first 10 possessions by Petrino Part 2. Off to a wild start. All right, let me do a segment right quick. Taking a look ahead. One of the games that I actually got circled is Michigan versus Fresno State. Mixing up the states here. One of the reasons I got that circled is we're going to start the Sharon Moore era at Michigan. Okay. We're also starting it with national champions being the defending national champions in Michigan Wolverines, defending Big Ten champions for the last 3 years. They made the college football playoff. But the one thing that has changed is Jim Harbaugh's not there. Neither's half the staff that helped win that national championship last year. We also know that Michigan had the sign stealing scandal where they cheated. Okay. I did that segment about sign stealer and Connor Stallions. You can go check that out, get my thoughts on it. So we're not going to waste too much time here. You get the show cause penalty for a coach that's in the NFL for 4 years who don't plan to come back to maybe college football ever. And then we're still waiting on what Michigan is going to say about the notice of allegations that they received from the NCAA. They have 90 days from the day of receipt to respond to the notice of allegations. Conveniently for us, 90 days from when they receive those allegations is 1 day before they play Northwestern and 8 days before they're supposed to play Ohio State November 30th. Then that is the game that Ohio State fans have been looking forward to for the entire year. They're going to get started with Akron, the Jeremiah Smith experience, all of it. But there's a couple of questions on the field that I wanted to, ask and then maybe provide some context, some answers. Is Will Johnson that good? Okay. I realize that there is a Michigan fan out there that feels like, what are you doing, RJ? You know damn well he's that good. Yeah, I know that he stood up against Marvin Harrison Jr. He stood up against Romo Dunze. He's that dude at Michigan last year. Best corner on his team, best corner in the Big Ten, quite possibly best corner in college football. If you just want to take into account that he put a stop to Romo Dunze and Marvin Harrison Jr., then he put a stop to 2 top 10 picks in the NFL draft this year. Full stop. But one of the things I thought was really fascinating and cool about him this year is he's at the top of the list for best available, according to Dane Bugler at The Athletic, meaning that Bugler thinks that Will Johnson should come off the board before Travis Hunter, before Shedeur Sanders, before Quinn Ewers, on down the list, right? Before Carson Beck, all the guys that you might put into that spot of perhaps being the number 1 overall draft pick in 2025. He's got him at number 1. Okay. Also in there, I didn't know this until I started looking into it. He wears 2 because he wanted the pressure that came with Charles Woodson wearing 2 at Michigan. And you'll remember the last time that Charles Woodson wore 2 at Michigan, not only won the Heisman Trophy, they won the national championship 26 years ago. What I thought was really cool about that is that when he got to Michigan, he was supposed to wear Jim Harbaugh's number 4, but he changed that up late. He's a legacy. His father, Dion, played with Ty Law, just missed overlapping with Charles Woodson. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a whole lot going on to William Johnson. But whether or not he is that good remains to be seen for me, because I want to see who's going to throw at him. Like last year, maybe you're still throwing at him. Maybe you still don't actually know who that is over there. But one of the ways in which I've always tried to take a look at, say, who should be a finalist for the Jim Thorpe Award, which is given to the best defensive back in football, is not just the interceptions that they have or the tackles that they have. It's also how many people wanted to throw at you. I remember this vividly because Brian Kelly, Notre Dame, getting ready to play Alabama 2020 college football playoff semifinal. And he was asked about Patrick Surtain. And he said, we're just not throwing to that side. Like it was a matter of fact. It was just a fact. We're just not throwing to him. Wherever he is, we're going somewhere else with the football. Does Will Johnson have that kind of effect? Not just against Fresno State, but everywhere. Is that how everybody they play is going to treat them? Is that how Texas is going to treat him? Because Texas might think that they got some dudes that can absolutely beat Will Johnson one-on-one. And if you're Will Johnson, that's exactly what you want. If you are Wink Martindale, defensive coordinator in Michigan, that's exactly what you want. I think there's a lot to be gained from looking at Will Johnson and seeing how that directly translates to whether or not Michigan continues to win. Because remember, Michigan has not lost a game at Michigan Stadium since 2020. As a matter of fact, Will Johnson committed to a team that finished 2-4. And since he joined that team, they've been very good. We all want to point to Connor Stallions and that being a catalyst for them being great. I like to look at guys like Will Johnson and go, I don't know, dog. He joined up too. And that's not a coincidence. Last thing that I wanted to know about Michigan before they play Fresno State, or as they play with Fresno State, is Alex Orji that good? I realized that they ain't said he's the starter yet, but I'll be shocked if he's not. Alex Orji reminds me a lot of Jalen Milroe, but if he's got to read past 2 progressions, can he still do it? Is he going to be accurate with the ball? We all know he can run it. We all know that he's got that sort of flavor to him, just like J.J. McCarthy did in 2021 before becoming this, the real starter, right? 2023, 2022-ish, depending on how you want to look at this. I'm curious. I would like to know whether or not Alex Orji's really got the goods. And if he's really got the goods, let's see it against the Fresno State team that I still think can give you a hard time. I know that Jeff Tedford is not the head coach right there. And before that, that's a candidate for money in the bag. Now, it might end up going the way Colorado versus North Dakota State went. But it's going to be a really good opener, I hope, to finally get a gauge on what this Michigan team has been through, because it doesn't seem to matter for those players, man. We talk about them ad nauseum. We talk about what's going on off the field. We talk about what Michigan has or hasn't done, and the players continue to just beat everybody in front of them. And I'm a firm believer in this. I will give you the playbook. I will give you the play. I will give you the signs. And I'm going to tell you, I'm running ISO and I'm running through your face. Come get it. That's what Michigan will do this year. That's what they did last year. They got caught with the sign stealing. It did not matter. They still ran through your face. Somehow, some way, we forgot that's what football is. Football is just running through your face. And Michigan fans be the first people to tell you, I don't love them. They like if I'm saying it, you got to believe that there's something to it, because Michigan fans be the first people in here trying to tell me off. Michigan fans think I'm an Ohio State fan. Ohio State fans know that I'm an Oklahoma fan. Oklahoma fans think I'm an Ohio State fan. Dude, I'm a fan of great football. I'm a fan of talented football. Matter of fact, when I did the top 25 rankings last year, I was 5 weeks ahead of the AP and the College Football Playoff Selection Committee, ranking Michigan number 1 because I believe what I'm telling you. They were running through people's faces. It did not matter. The week that they got caught with the sign stealing, they went to Michigan State and they beat them 49-0. They whooped them up one side, down the other. It did not matter. Jim Harbaugh coached all of 9 games on the field last year. They went 15-0. Sharon Moore was suspended for one of them games, still was acting head coach. They went 15-0. Donovan Edwards didn't do much of nothing until the playoffs. They went 15-0. What else do you want from them? From the players? I know what you want from the administration. I know what you want from coaching staff. I just refuse to doubt this team until they give me a reason to. It's not unlike Coach Saban when he said, hey, until somebody beats Georgia, Georgia is the presumptive favorite to win the SEC championship. And I think that that's about right. As a matter of fact, I want to pick up that point about Nick Saban, but first I want to check the chat, see who else is in here, see what we got going on here.